Hello, hello! It's Misha again and welcome back to Shate Cookbook. Today, we'll be making Italian pasta. In this recipe, I'll combine both marinara and Alfredo to create a flavorful, creamy sauce going on top of some meatballs. Don't worry, it's gonna be an easy one. And with that said, let's get started. First, we need some pasta. You can use any type of pasta that you like, but I prefer Rotini because these spiral folds would help catching a lot of sauce. I'm using 1 pound of Rotini today. I also have here 1.5 pounds of fresh tomatoes, or you can use 29-ounce canned tomato puree. I'm having right here 2 cans of traditional marinara and 1 can of Alfredo sauce, beside 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. For the protein, I need 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pound of ground pork. It's okay to use just ground beef for this recipe. And I also have here 1 pound of frozen Italian meatballs. Besides those, I also need a 1/4 cup of minced garlic, 1 cup of chopped onion, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 cups of Italian blend cheese. And this 1 pound of thinly sliced mushroom is optional. This is how I make the fresh tomato puree. First, we need to remove those tomato skin. I carefully slice a T on each tomato, then place them all in a large bowl. Next, I'll cover them with some hot boiled water and let them soak for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna prepare my rotini. In a large pot, I boil 6 quarts of water with a little bit of vegetable oil, then I add all the rotini. Don't forget to use a bigger pot so the pasta have room to expand and the vegetable oil will prevent them from sticking to each other. Also give them a good stir occasionally. When I see the water gets back to boil, I keep it cooking on medium-high heat for about 2 more minutes. Stir occasionally, then I turn off the heat completely. I put on a lid and let them soak for about 15 minutes. This soaking method is so great. You don't have to keep checking on them or worry about them being overcooked. So easy. I love it. Let's get back to the fresh tomato. After soaking in hot water, now the skin is so easy to peel off. Next, I cut the tomatoes in half to remove the seeds because I don't want any seeds or too much liquid in the pasta sauce. You can use either hand blender or food processor to puree the tomatoes. Okay, let me check on the rotini. Look at that, they are perfectly cooked. Then I drain and rinse them thoroughly under cold water with a coriander and then let them dry. Finally, it's time to make the pasta sauce. In a large pot with medium-high heat, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. When the oil is hot, I stir-fry the chopped onion until translucent. After a couple of minutes, I add in the minced garlic, stir-fry until the kitchen smells really good. Next, I'm gonna saute the ground pork first because ground pork does take longer than ground beef to be cooked. I recommend using some ground pork for additional meaty taste. Don't forget to break any big chunk of meat into small pieces. When the ground pork is halfway cooked, I'm adding in the ground beef. When the meat is ready, I pour in the fresh tomato puree and give them a good mix. Next, I put in some tomato paste. Please don't forget about this ingredient because it gives an extra tomato flavor without adding too much liquid to the sauce. After combining everything very well, I'm adding in the marinara sauce. My mom taught me not to waste, so I add a little bit of water to the can, give it a good shake, and add in everything to the pot. Just make sure don't use too much water. It looks so good already. Next, I stir in some Italian seasoning and sugar. This sugar would help balancing out the sourness from the tomato. When everything is well combined, I add in the ALFREDO. This is the secret for extra creamy flavor without tasting too heavy. I'm not forgetting about these yummy Italian meatballs. Mushroom is the last ingredient I'm adding to my sauce. If you don't like it, you can totally skip it. After giving them a good stir, I keep it simmering on low heat for about 30 minutes to reduce the water. Now the pasta sauce is nice and ready. You can enjoy it by simply pour the sauce straight on top of some rotini, sprinkle with a little bit of cheese. But this is how I normally serve my family. I preheat the oven to 385 Fahrenheit degree. In a large casserole dish, I adding a thin layer of meat sauce at the bottom. Then I put in an even layer of rotini, followed by a good bit of this delicious pasta sauce. Don't forget to sprinkle a lot of cheese on top. I like to bake the pasta because all the sauce has time to absorb into the rotini, which gives you an extra flavor in every bite. And then I bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes or until the cheese top turning to golden brown. Yay! It's ready! Look at how beautiful it is! I'm scooping this delicious pasta to a bowl, of course with some extra cheese on top. Let's eat! Thank you for watching our video on how to make Italian pasta. I hope you like it. And until next time, bye!